This is the collar of my vintage Miller Western Wear ranch shirt, and it is in desperate need of a repair, which I'll do by flipping the collar. There's not much more to it than that, but I guess I'll show you. First, I carefully unpick the collar from the collar stand. This is a single line of straight stitch, so I'm able to slide along with the ball end inside the seam, but this is probably 40-year-old fabric and it is very delicate. So where I feel resistance or want more control, I rip the individual stitches with the point. To stabilise these holes, I'm going to reinforce the wear with fusible lining. I press the collar flat, trace the collar onto the lining and cut the lining to size, eyeballing the seam allowance. This is placed inside the collar with the adhesive side facing the wear and ironed in place on the opposite side. I can now reattach the collar. I flip the collar so that the wear is now face down and mark a centre point on the collar and the collar stand. The two pieces are put into position and pinned while I baste the collar in place. I prefer to baste as it's more accurate and easier to sew, as you don't have to pull the pins as you run it through the machine. While I have the needle out, I reattach the loose corner of the tag, aiming to hide the back of the sewing within the layers of the yoke, although on closer inspection I needn't have bothered. Finally, with the sewing machine, I simply follow the marks left by the original stitching. I'm using a contrast thread because it shows up better on camera, but also I prefer my mends to be visible. So this turned out to be a great little mend. I am very pleased with myself. It only took about 15 minutes or so, and that includes all the time faffing about with cameras and all that sort of stuff. So really beginner friendly and a great way to extend the life of a garment. If you enjoyed this, I've got a whole playlist of videos of visible mends and repairs. You could click on one of those, or do you know what? I also make full garments and they're interesting. I don't know if they're good, but they are interesting. So I don't know. I'll add a couple of choice links over here. Maybe one of them's worth a click. Maybe you got like a wee 15 minutes. You might as well still, like, you're obviously enjoying a bit of time on YouTube. You got this far. You're not doing any work, are you?